One quest.
All right, Questketeers, to the quest jet.
Zero gravity.
Hold tight.
Look what the cat dragged in.
I'll never help you access the power of the sphere. Happy landing!
Everybody up.
Stop them!
Get ready to hit the thrusters.
Tom and Jerry Spy Quest. Look for it on DVD and digital HD.
Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your interdimensional agent of animated awesome, and the host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Today, we are going to be reviewing the short and fun and incredibly silly 2015 made for home release, home video movie, Tom and Jerry in Spy Quest, which, as you may well believe, is a team up with Tom and Jerry and the Johnny Quest team. Yeah, pretty much all of them. So it's I enjoyed it for what it is. But before we get too much further into it and get into something really different, please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, do all the things, watch a little longer than usual. And if you're ready, grab that bag of paint in case there's an invisible monster by, and let's roll. We start out here in sunny South Florida. And the movie itself is very Tex Avery influenced, the design of it. And there's Tom, our hero, Tom, poor beleaguered Tom. Now, I like Tom and Jerry cartoons, but I also like it when they were more equal, because once Jerry just started getting the upper hand no matter what, it was like, because he was cruel sometimes to Tom. Not that Tom didn't deserve it at times, but sometimes Jerry deserved to get flattened. So when it's a nice balance between them, whatever their cause is, that they're frenemies, right? I mean, best frenemies, because they'll save each other no matter what. But that's just me talking about Tom and Jerry. So we've seen this before. There, look, it's a cameo by Spike and Tyke. I believe that's who those two are. And there's Jerry Mouse going out. Tom gets ready to do a little light reading, and gets jabbed by Jerry. Lots of sight gags, just like right out of Tex Avery. Now, I like Tex Avery, but I grew up on Chuck Jones, so Chuck's always been my favorite of the classic animators and styles. Just take that into consideration. But this is very much, they don't talk at all in here. And she calls Tom a masher in 2015. I mean, who uses that term anymore? He's even wearing pants or a swimsuit. And then we find Bandit because there's a disagreement with a frank exchange of ideas with a crab. So Bandit looks pretty good. The design there is good. Jerry uses him to scare Tom quite a bit, and he gets hit on the head with several coconuts. And then he's like, okay, that's my buddy now. And Bandit looks fierce. So they do a good merging of both styles, the Hanna-Barbera classic style, if you will, and the Tex Avery. It took me a little while to get used to it, because this is very much a Tom and Jerry movie. And then there it is, Johnny and Haji, brothers to the end. But what's that flying behind them? That's Tin Pan and Alley. Greg Ellis, Jess Harnell, who is one of the Animaniacs, and Richard McGonigal as Tin Pan and Alley, respectively. I don't know which is which. One of them talks like Raymond, definitely talks like Raymond. But fortunately, Bandit scares Tom, and he flies up and destroys them. And this poor kid it's a running joke that his castle keeps getting destroyed. So there they are. They're about to get captured when Race Bannon shows up. Roger Race T. Bannon shows up, saves them. They get on the hydrofoil. Off they go. And Dr. Zinn, and once again, we get another repeat of Tom being a hero. So Dr. Zinn is in awe of Tom. And he's yelling at his hench cats. So these cats can talk. Tom and Jerry can't talk. Bandit can't talk. But these cats can talk. There's some really weird rules in the Hanna-Barbera universe. And then we go into the credits, which we're about to see because I love them. And I believe you will too. So let's watch a bit of them. had my hopes up after the credits there that these two obviously are fans, and it would be more of a Johnny Quest story. But anyway, obviously Spike Brandt and Tony Cervone are big fans of Johnny Quest, and kudos to them because that opening is excellent. The movie's pretty cheap. If you want it on DVD, it's like $5. So there's Quest Labs or Quest Complex, whatever it is now. There's Dr. Benton Quest himself, played by Eric Balza. Reese Hartwig as Johnny Quest. Michael Hanks is Race Bannon. Let's see who is. I don't see. Oh, Haji is Arnie Pantoja. I don't know, but let me look at something here. He just says he's an American actor. And so they bring in, they're like, well, we got some strays here. They're part of the Questketeers or something like that. Tom and Jerry. They figure out their names somehow. Here's that zapping bit that you see in the opening. This made me laugh because they both got fluffed out. Everyone's eating. Tom gets milk. And you'd think scientists in 2015 would know that milk is bad for cats. Tom's starving. Oh, look, it's Jezebel Jade. And she's played by Tia Carrera. Jezebel's got her original look back, thankfully. I mean, that being a redhead, just as much as I love redheads, Jezebel Jade is not a redhead unless she's in undercover. So there they are. Jade and Race obviously have a thing, but they can't figure it out. Look at Dr. Quest's code there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone's asleep, but Tom is hungry. So he goes out. He turns off. There's the Quest complex at night. Geez, can find that from the moon. But he's going to have some food. He's heating it up with a Bunsen burner. Tin Pan and Alley show up. Definitely based on the Three Stooges a little bit. And so some hijinks. One of them gets encased, but there's a missile headed their way. I'm not sure if I think that's Tom, though. That's what they're after, the Q sphere, which will bring unlimited free energy to everyone. Everyone, I tells you. So that's what Zinn is after. So, it's very standard Tom and Jerry with, super spies. But they show up, zappy zaps. Race gets to fight some robots. Unfortunately, the robot captures both Benton, and Race goes off with him. So, and they're leaving with the Q sphere. They're trying to figure out where, and Tom and Jerry are astounded that Haji can float. So they're leaning into Haji being able to do some sort of magic, which I always think was a good idea anyway, because it adds just a little dimension to the original series where he could do it. And that wasn't just sleight of hand or suggestion. He could actually float. So then they figure out that they can track the Q sphere. Off they go in the Quest jet, Quest 1. Johnny's piloting. This isn't going to end well. And there's Dr. Zinn himself. Dr. Zinn is played by the great James Hong. I'm not sure if he's the first actual Asian American to play Asian to play Dr. Zinn. They're doing the evil laugh a la Dr. Evil and his henchmen. And look at that. This is where it gets, the art changes a tiny bit. It looks hand paint. Look at those. It looks like comic book covers from Gold Key. I mean, look at that. So they're attacked. Johnny's barely pulls out. They drop these on. It starts disintegrating. Their buzzsaws. These two are on the fuselage now. Down they go. Johnny to the rescue. Everyone's happy. And now you're welcome to Moldovistan, land of intrigue and wonder, but mostly intrigue. So there's and you think the eyes move. And somehow Dr. Zinn has got spies everywhere, cameras everywhere, so you can follow him. They've got a tracer. They run into some villains there with snakes. Well, the snake is something that Haji pulled out. And there's Jade. She makes her appearance. She's got a gun. She's in Jade's Cafe American. I wonder if she got that from Rick. They're not in, that place. But they're like, this is what we need. She gives them a contract so that it's almost English, but it's in Latin. which is very funny. So there they're flying what one of their things she's got for him, and there is Droopy. Droopy is voiced perfectly by Joe Alaskey. I'm not a huge Droopy fan. I'm sorry, folks. He doesn't entertain me that much. I liked him at first, but as a kid, but he's still fun. Jade does a song and dance here, and enchants everybody. And while that's doing it, the bad guys are trying to get to Johnny and Haji. So she takes it in, beats them up, and they end up hanging there, and the audience thinks it's part of the show. Very clever. All right, and off they go. And now it's time for station identification. You are watching Xenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters on KXNO, part of the Xenorama Broadcasting Network. We now return you to our regularly scheduled program. One of the great things about Johnny Quest is in the original series, there was continuity. It wasn't as strict as it is, people have to have it now, but the jetpacks there are the same from both Turu and the Invisible Monster. They stick Bandit in there. Apparently Bandit's not gotten any bigger. He must be a dwarf bulldog or whatever he's supposed to be. These two can't fly anything right. As you can tell, the robots show up again. The cats decide to feed Dr. Zinn fish sticks, peas, and potatoes, and he's not pleased. But they have a nice meeting, and I think they actually do kind of admire each other because they're both really smart. So I always go with his first name as Archimedes because that's what they used in Future Quest, and I just like the way it sounds. He's had several different ones because that's just the way comic books work. But I like Archimedes. They've got the kids, and now they're showing that he's going to work on the Q-sphere to make it so that Dr. Zinn can try to take over the world. Ooh, a Pinky and the Brain meet Dr. Zinn? Okay, let's see it happen, Warner Brothers. So Tom and Jerry are still loose on the island, and below them are crabs and scorpions and monsters. Oh my. Some kind of scorpion monsters. So Bandit goes through the crawl space, or the airspace there. The duck, you know what those things are. Zinn is still talking about how great Tom is. They're looking for something to help him, and Jerry's yelling at Tom. So now they're both on the same side. And Tom wants the steak, but gets smacked in the face. And he points his laser. He's going to turn Jerry into dust, which never works. He always comes back. But now Bandit and Jerry or Tom are friends. I think James Hong, the cast is great here. They do, they do as best they can as sounding like the originals. You can tell that Tia Carrera, Jezebel Jade's not the same voice, but that's all right. None of them are. And that's fine. They're cartoons. People get replaced. Voices change in cartoons. It happens. Even Kevin Conroy is not the only person that's done animated Batman. Here's his floating island. There's the claw monster. There it is, a crab monster. This is from Terror Island, I think, which was an episode with Jezebel Jade. We're going to have to review that. More Zappies up. So about now, it starts turning into a Johnny Quest movie with excitement and lasers and flying islands, rescues. They save Tom. Zinn is going mental. Wah, ha, ha. So bark, 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 bark. He wipes out a bunch of androids or robots. There is our president. The president is voiced by the one and only Tim Matheson, the original Johnny Quest, Hardak 4 from one of the movies. He was also Jace, and he was young Samson, and he was in Animal House. But that's a nice touch. So obviously, they're fans. This just made me laugh. Dr. Zinn, best wishes, Dr. Zinn. Evil technological. So it's 15 minutes until the White House. And you can just hear the music playing now. And Tom and Jerry, Tom's still free. Jerry can't do much. He's a mouse. Look at that boot to the head. Bandit's having a great time. Johnny's going down to try to stop the Q-sphere. And he is going to kick your ass. Look at how delicately Dr. Zinn. There's just some really nice touches here that are just funny. But he's got an army of robots. Where does he get this money? Who is his unnamed backer? probably Starbucks, like with Dr. Evil. He's got a Z on his shirt because Tom took his armor. Lots of light fly out there. There they go. Zappy zaps. Fire. Tom doesn't know how to work this thing, but we took care of him. Jerry Mouse. So 5 minutes until DC gets blown up. Tom's running away because he's scared, but he does the right thing, comes back. He's going to do it. So Tom's a scaredy cat, but it's all right. They're about to blast Haji and Bandit. Tom takes it. They slice things in half. Bark, 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 bark. There he goes. And now it's starting to crumble. I believe that Benton just slugged Dr. Zinn. You don't often see Benton get physical, but he does. He can. Not sure just what's happening here. But he said, goodbye, guys. Unfortunately, the cats have had enough of Dr. Zinn, and he's forced into it on the top, as you can see in that. Let's see if I can embiggen it here. Yeah, that little bitty blue person there. He's got a missile. The president wants to know why he wasn't informed of this. But they got to get out and look at them, both Zen. Crab monster, crab monster, crab monster. There, and then Jade shows up with Droopy in the nick of time. Everyone gets saved except for the crab monster, and they're like, "Hey, baby!" So a nice kabloom. And now they're building a new Washington Monument, possibly without a rocket under, a missile under it, but we don't know. Everyone gets medals. The president tells Johnny he reminds him of when he was a child. They even kind of got the same haircut now, don't they? So the rivalry starts again here. They run off, and that's where it ends. Very enjoyable. 75 minutes, less than 75 minutes. I highly recommend it. I just, it's just fun. And that doesn't take itself seriously, but it's also true to both sets of characters. You know what to do if you're leaving. All right, my fellow agents, and if you thought you weren't going to get to see a little of Turu there from this movie, well, you should know me better than that by now. Tomorrow we will be reviewing both a movie that's called When Taekwondo Strikes or Sting of the Dragon Masters. It's got Angela Mao Ying and Jun Ri in it. And it's pretty good. I want to do something a little light here today because the next two movies are going to have precious little humor in them at all. So I hope you've enjoyed Spy Quest. But until that next assignment, this is X7 signing off and phasing out. And remember, all you have to do to float is to say Sim Sim Salabim. Be seeing you.
When there is only torture, only violence, only death, then it is time for Sting of the Dragon Masters. Yeah!